everyone, so I'm going to try to explain to you what happened prior to that video that you guys saw. For those that don't know, I was in Palm Springs, California, and I went into a dispensary. It's called the 420 Bank Dispensary and Lounge in Palm Springs, and I just went there to, have fun, chill out, all that. And basically, I was sitting on the couch for about 45 minutes. I get up to go to the restroom, and next thing I know, there's this lady blocking me from going into the restroom. All right, okay. I mean, I was a little concerned at that point, but I was like, maybe I can explain to her what's going on, and it'll be okay, and everything will be fine. So she stops me, and she says, "Where are you going?" I say, "I'm going to the restroom." She says, "Which one?" I say, "The men's restroom." She says, "You can't go in there." I say, "Why not?" She says, "Because you're female." I say, "No, I'm a man, and that's the restroom that I use." And then I go on to explain to her that I'm a trans guy, thinking that, she'll understand, and that's it. Now I'm thinking at this point, maybe this can still be resolved. I just say to her, "Come on, you're not really doing this right now, are you?" Like, I was actually surprised. Like, I'm like, "You're not making this a thing, right? Like, what do you..." She goes on and says, "You cannot go in there." All right. Well, I say, I'm a man, and I use the men's restroom. So she says, "Well, then why does your ID have this name?" She says, "My dead name." I say to her, "Well, that's my legal name. That's not the name that I am using currently. And not to mention that a person that has a female name, that doesn't make that doesn't make it their identity, right?" So she says, what? Okay. So she says, what parts do you have? Do you have male parts?" And I say to her, "That's none of your business." And she replies, "Well, then there you go. You see, you're a female." I say, no, I'm not. I am a man, and I use the men's restroom." So she says, we can't have you going in there." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you're going to be looking at men's parts, and we can't have that." So when she said that, I was really, really taken aback. I was really shocked. And I think, like, moved back, from the shock. All right, so now I've been accused of being some kind of pervert or some kind of, I don't even know, right? And I'm just like, okay, in disbelief. And basically, she continues. So she says to me, so she tries to switch it up, because maybe she realizes something in her mind, realizes that, okay, maybe that's a really messed up thing to say to somebody. So she switches it up using another excuse, which is also demeaning and not right to do. She basically says to me, "It's for your protection." So I say to her, she says to me, "It's for your protection because it's not safe for you to go in there because you're a female and you need protection." So I say to her, "No, I'm a man and I don't need your protection. I can go into the men's restroom and I can protect myself if I need to." She brings up my dead name again. She brings up the dead name thing on my license like countless times. I don't even know how many times. And then she says to me, and then I say to her, I say, "What you're doing right now is really transphobic." And she goes, oh, no. She says this again. She says it in the video, and then she said this also prior when she was blocking me from the bathroom. She says, "No, I'm with the LGBT community, blah, blah, blah. I volunteer. I work there. I don't know." And I just say, "Well, I don't know how that can be because you don't know how to address a trans person or how to treat a trans person." Because at this point, I'm still trying to educate her and maybe think that there's some resolution that could come from this. I also don't know that she is the co-owner of the place as I'm speaking to her, because at the very beginning of the conversation, she introduces herself as the manager. When I ask, can I speak to a manager? She actually says, I am the manager. Turns out she's actually the co-owner of the place. Julie Montant. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. So I say to her, I'm still trying to reason with this woman. And I say to her, you really don't have to do this. You don't have to make a big deal out of this. I'm a trans guy. It's okay. I say, please don't make a whole thing out of me, needing to use the restroom. I even say to her at some point, this is very upsetting, and I'm shaking right now. She stands her ground. She says, you can't go in there because you're female. She keeps reiterating that point. I am not budging either, and I'm telling her, well, I'm a man and I use the men's restroom. So at this point, she says to me, well, the only way that you would be able to go in there is if the whole men's restroom was cleared out of men. Would be able to go in there is if the entire place was cleared out of men so that you can go use the restroom, since, again, she says, because you're female. So I said, what are you talking about? You don't need to do that. There's no reason to clear other men out and to make sure that no other men come in there while I'm in there. That makes no sense. There's no reason to do that. I also say that my gender marker has been changed to male, and this should not be a problem. She continues to say this is an absolute requirement. There's no way you're going in with men, etc., etc. Like, meaning she'll allow me to use the space, but because, again, I'm female, that I can't actually be with other cisgender men. I say you don't need to make that a requirement. There's no need. At this point, I actually take out my phone and I record myself to remember at least, what's going on, what's happening. As I'm recording myself, this cis guy comes up, and she still hasn't actually, set this up that I can go into the restroom. Meanwhile, I need to actually pee, right? But, of course, I have to have this whole conversation before I can be allowed to go into the restroom. So this cis guy walks up, and she tries to block him as if she's about to allow me, quote unquote, to go in there. So I say, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let this guy go in. And I say to the guy, I say, go into the bathroom, because we still haven't actually resolved what's going on. I'm not going to make him wait there for another 5 minutes while we're, still having this conversation. So he goes in, and then he comes out. When he comes out, I literally at that point, I don't even know what happened. I was really, really upset. I just, I don't know if she was like, oh, we're going to now make sure that no one else comes in, or what happened. I was just like, all right, he's out. I'm going into the bathroom. I walk into the bathroom, use the restroom. That's it. Now that's as if the footage that they're showing, as if that they never discriminated against me, that I actually am able to go into the restroom at that point. I come out of the bathroom. And again, at this point, I do not know that she is the manager. She's the owner. I do not know she's the owner. I think she's the manager. Maybe there's someone else I can still talk to and explain that this whole thing happened, and, come to some kind of resolution, explain why this is not okay, maybe get some kind of apology. And maybe I don't have to not ever come back here, because I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to have any type of beef with these people. This was not my intention whatsoever. So I get out the bathroom and I start walking up towards the counter area, and I see her. And unfortunately, I see her standing next to another woman. This woman looks very similar to the first woman. All right, so I see these two women standing next to each other. I realize that they must be some kind of relatives. So I ask, are you relatives? And then they say, yes, we're sisters. I'm like, great. All right, so I'm pretty much fucked, because, I still don't know that she's the owner, but I'm just like, obviously this relative is going to back her up. But I still am hoping maybe there's someone else I can talk to. Maybe we can resolve this. Okay. I start explaining to them that I have changed my gender marker on my ID. Now, she says, she starts saying, so Julie, again, the owner, the co-owner, starts saying to me, all right, so why don't you show that ID to me? And I say, at first, I say to her, I don't really need to show that, because first of all, it's also in your computer. You can go ahead and go look. But all right, because at a dispensary, again, you have to actually show that every time you come inside. So they're going on and on and on, being very, very disrespectful, all that. At this point, the security guard that I'm pretty sure is the one, not pretty sure, I'm like 99.99% sure that he's the one that complained about me going into the restroom the night before. And let me explain to you what the security guard said when I was there on Friday night, the night before. And I have this actually on live video, 420 Bank, just so you know. So don't try to come up with excuses about that too. Basically, when I went into the restroom on Friday night, I was there with my son that night. The security guard walks in after me. All right. Now I'm on the live with my boyfriend Daniel. All right. And I'm trying to go to the restroom, and I'm pretty new to doing lives. I don't know how to actually turn this off. I don't know if there's a way to mute it. I know how to turn it off, but I'm trying to like not have to turn it off. I'm trying to just mute it and be able to go to the restroom. So my son left the building at that point, so I didn't have anyone to give my phone to. So that's why you see in the other footage that they show me going in and out of the restroom, because I'm trying to figure out what to do about this situation, right? So I even ask on the live, I say, is there a way to mute this? I don't know. I'm asking my boyfriend, how do I handle this? I go back into the bathroom. I'm standing like by the sink area or something. And that's when the security guard walks in. All right, now this guy is a huge guy, just so you know, for reference. I don't know how tall he is. He's probably at least 6'3". I don't know. He's a really big guy, buff, maybe at least twice my weight, at least. And he walks in and he sees me, and his face, the shock on his face said it all, because he was just like taken aback, as if like, oh, why is there a quote unquote female in this restroom? Now I'm trying to play it off. I'm not trying to have, a problem with anybody. I'm just like, I apologize, because I think maybe he's worried that So back to the security guard and his reaction. Okay, so when he comes in at the door, he has that shocked look on his face, okay? And then he also says, I almost dropped my pants. So, I was just like, okay, why would you say that? First of all, that's really weird. But besides that, I was thinking, maybe, I was not trying to think that I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, this guy, okay? I was thinking maybe he's not being transphobic, maybe because, again, he had that look on his face, shocked look, as if that, why is there a quote-unquote female in this bathroom, right? So I'm just like, maybe he's talking about the fact that I have the live, even though it's pointed at me, of course, right? The actual phone is pointed at me, not at him in any way. He says that, and I have that on live video that he says that. Now, who drops their pants at the front of the door? That's number one. That's what I want to know. But obviously he was threatened or intimidated or I don't know what by the fact that I was in there. When you see the footage of what they released, you see him walking away, and at the very end he goes like this. Like as if, oh, like what was that? Like what the fuck was that? I apologize twice to this guy. I'm very friendly to him. I go into the bathroom, I come out, that's it, right? Now, remember, I had been to this place already like 3 times prior to that 4th time, which is when the security guard saw me in the men's restroom. And this is when all the problems start. So back to Saturday night, which is the night right after Friday night, right? I'm standing there with these 2 sisters. The security guard pulls up at that point, and he's like all in his stance, as if he's about to, do something. And a couple other employees come up over there, and they're upset about the fact as if that I am trying to defend myself and trying to say why that was not okay, and if there's something that can be done about that. Like I was not violent in any way. I did not curse in any way. All these things that they're saying about me are complete lies. The security guard starts taunting me about my gender marker, because we were talking a lot about that gender marker on my license, right? So he keeps saying, it says female. It says female. It says female. And I said, no, it doesn't. It says male. Like what? You're like arguing with me about something that I know for a fact? Not to mention, again, they have my license in their computer. They could have easily looked, and seen what it said. The women are also saying this to me at the same time. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I'll take out the license and just show it to them. If maybe it'll help. I don't know. So I take out my license and I show them that it actually says that, that it's male, that the gender marker is male. So this is what really broke me. At this point, what does Julie say? She says, yeah. So I hand to Julie my ID, and she says, to show the gender marker, and she says, yeah, but that doesn't matter. Why? She says, because you changed it. So at that point, that's what really broke me. That's when I was like, okay, there's no coming back from this, because obviously no matter what I do, no matter what I say, they are not going to accept my gender identity, right? Like they just don't want to understand or accept or any of that. So I say, I could post this on social media. Like, this is really not okay, what you're doing. And she says basically like, oh, like she's very, okay, do what you want. All right. So I ask, do I have permission to record then? And then she says, yeah. Like, she doesn't care. She's thinking there's this random dude, random trans guy that they don't like, right? For whatever for that reason, for the fact that I'm trans. So they don't care. They don't think that anything's going to happen, right? And that's when I actually start recording, and that's the video that you guys see. And on the video, and also prior to the video, you can hear them saying, just to get your stuff, just leave. And I'm like, why are you kicking me out? What did I do to be kicked out, right? I didn't do anything wrong, except the only one thing I did wrong was try to use the men's restroom because I'm a trans guy. And the reason that I say that this was targeted discrimination is because they must have had a plan after that Friday night. All right, so that's the whole story. That's the incident. Like I said, unfortunately, this thing keeps going because they are refusing to admit any wrongdoing. And when I tried to actually contact Tommy Clinton, that's mentioned in the original video, the longer version, she is actually backing Julie up, downplaying this whole thing that happened. And again, there's also proof in that WhatsApp chat that she spoke to Julie after this happened and before I talked to her, and makes an excuse why she actually tried doing that. Now the 420 bank dispensary is trying to say that this never happened at all. And what does Tommy Clinton say on there, who's a transgender woman, mind you, and supposed to be an advocate for the community, for other trans people and LGBTQ community at large? She says, yeah, but Julie is a good person. She donates dozens. So is this how this world is going to be now? It's all about the money. It's not about treating people with dignity and respect, basic human decency. So because of everything that I explained to you, I tried my best to say it as concisely as possible. In my lives, I say it a lot. I repeat a lot of these things. I just wanted everyone to know what actually happened, the full story. And now I'm looking to organize a peaceful protest about this and demand some changes. So whoever's with me, please tag yourself in this video, and we can set something up. I'm still in the very early stages, so I appreciate so much everyone that's been supporting and being kind, loving, accepting, giving encouragement, all that. I love you all. I appreciate it so much. And together we can do something. Together we can actually make a difference and make a change, because this should not be happening in 2021. In Palm Springs, California, no less. All right, so that's the whole story. That's the incident. Like I said, unfortunately, this thing keeps going because they are refusing to admit any wrongdoing. And when I tried to actually contact Tommy Clinton, that's mentioned in the original video, the longer version, she is actually backing Julie up, downplaying this whole thing that happened. And again, there's also proof in that WhatsApp chat that she spoke to Julie after this happened and before I talked to her, and makes an excuse why she actually tried doing that. Now the 420 bank dispensary is trying to say that this never happened at all. And what does Tommy Clinton say on there, who's a transgender woman, mind you, and supposed to be an advocate for the community, for other trans people and LGBTQ community at large? She says, yeah, but Julie is a good person. She donates dozens. So is this how this world is going to be now? It's all about the money. It's not about treating people with dignity and respect, basic human decency. So because of everything that I explained to you, I tried my best to say it as concisely as possible. In my lives, I say it a lot. I repeat a lot of these things. I just wanted everyone to know what actually happened, the full story. And now I'm looking to organize a peaceful protest about this and demand some changes. So whoever's with me, please tag yourself in this video and we can set something up. I'm still in the very early stages, so I appreciate so much everyone that's been supporting and being kind, loving, accepting, giving encouragement, all that. I love you all. I appreciate it so much. And together we can do something. Together we can actually make a difference and make a change, because this should not be happening in 2021. In Palm Springs, California, no less.